All right, so get this. Imagine being able to just whip up a song,
Oh, wow.
like as easily as you could just fire off an email.
Yeah,
Sounds pretty wild, right?
totally.
Well, that's exactly what we are diving into today, AI music generation.
Nice.
And trust me, it's already making some serious waves.
For sure.
We've got some seriously insightful sources on two
Yeah.
real game changers in this space, Suno AI and freebeat.ai.
Yeah, what's so fascinating to me is how these tools are kind of blurring the lines, between those
Yeah.
professional studios and anyone with a laptop
Right.
and a spark of musical curiosity.
It's like suddenly those barriers to entry have just vanished.
Yeah.
So let's start with Suno AI.
Okay.
What is the deal with this platform?
Well, Suno AI is all about turning imagination into music,
Okay.
like actual music.
Okay.
Think vocals, harmonies, full instrumental, tracks, the works.
Wow.
Their whole mission is to make creating music as simple as possible,
Right.
regardless of your experience level.
So it's not just like another beat-making app.
No, this is like full-blown song creation.
Exactly. Full-blown song creation.
Yeah.
Suno leverages these powerful generative AI algorithms
Okay.
that have learned from this vast library of music.
So it's like having
Yeah,
like a seasoned producer working behind the scenes with you,
it is like that.
helping you shape your ideas.
Totally.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me.
Yeah.
How are actual musicians using Suno in their workflow?
Yeah.
Is it a total game changer or
Yeah.
more of a supplementary tool?
We're seeing both, actually.
Oh, wow.
For seasoned pros, it's becoming this secret weapon
Uh-huh.
for breaking through creative block, experimenting with new sounds, or quickly mocking up arrangements.
Interesting.
But the real revolution is happening with aspiring artists,
Okay.
folks who might not have ever had access to traditional studio setups.
Right.
They're using Suno to bring their musical visions to life without needing years of training
Yeah.
or expensive equipment.
That's pretty wild.
It is
It's like this whole hidden world of musical talent is suddenly... Yes.
being unlocked.
Uh-huh.
But how does it actually work?
Yeah.
Can you walk me through, the process
Uh-huh.
of creating a song on Suno?
It's surprisingly straightforward. You start by selecting a style,
Okay.
maybe a genre like jazz hip-hop or classical.
Uh-huh.
You can even input a short melody or riff as like a starting point.
Okay.
From there, Suno's algorithms get to work generating a unique composition.
Interesting.
Based on your choices, you can fine-tune the tempo, instrumentation, and even add vocals.
Wait, vocals.
Yes.
So this thing can actually compose lyrics and melodies for singing.
You got it.
Wow.
Suno uses cutting-edge text-to-speech synthesis to generate these remarkably human-sounding vocals.
Okay.
You can choose from various vocal styles, adjust the emotional tone,
That's pretty cool.
and even tweak the pronunciation.
That's insane. Are we talking radio-ready vocals here?
Yeah.
Or more like a cool effect you can play around with?
The quality is surprisingly good.
Wow.
While it might not replace a seasoned vocalist entirely.
It's definitely good enough for demos, background vocals,
Mm-hmm.
or even lead vocals in certain styles.
Okay, so let's talk practicality for a second.
Sure.
I can see someone who's never touched a piano in their life using Suno to create a song.
Right.
But how are professional producers and musicians reacting to this?
Yeah, it's definitely been met with a mix of excitement
Yeah,
and, understandably, some apprehension.
sure.
Some see it as a threat to their livelihood, while others view it as a powerful tool
Right,
that can enhance their creative process.
right.
The reality is that tools like Suno are fundamentally changing the landscape
Yeah.
of music creation.
It's like any disruptive technology.
Exactly.
There's always this period of adjustment,
Yeah.
figuring out how it fits into the existing ecosystem,
Right.
but you can't deny the potential.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so what's really interesting to me is seeing how producers are integrating Suno into their workflow.
Yeah.
Some are using it to generate initial ideas or rough drafts of songs, which they then build upon,
Yes.
using traditional instruments and recording techniques.
Yeah.
Others are incorporating AI-generated elements,
Yeah.
like unique synth textures or drum patterns into their productions
Uh-huh.
to add a new dimension to their sound.
It's like this whole new sonic palette has opened up for them.
Totally. And of course, there's the cost factor.
Oh, for sure.
Studio time is expensive.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
That's another area where Suno is making a huge impact.
Yeah.
It's making professional quality music production accessible
Right.
to artists who might not have the budget for expensive studios and equipment.
So it's democratizing music creation
It is.
in a way we've never really seen before.
Yeah.
But of course, there's two sides to every coin.
Of course.
What are some of the potential downsides or challenges
Yeah.
that people are raising about Suno AI?
One concern that comes up frequently is the issue of copyright and ownership.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
If you're using an AI to generate music, who owns the rights to that music?
Oh, right. That's a huge legal and ethical can of worms.
Absolutely. And there's the question of artistic integrity.
Yeah.
Some people worry that AI-generated music will lack the soul and emotion
Yeah.
of music created by humans, that it will be technically proficient, but somehow empty.
That's a fascinating debate.
It is.
Is AI simply replicating what it's learned,
Yeah.
or is it capable of generating something truly original and expressive?
Yeah,
I guess that's something we'll have to keep exploring as this technology develops.
I think so.
But before we go too deep down that rabbit hole,
Okay.
we've got another AI music platform to unpack.
Right.
freebeat.ai.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, this one takes things to a whole other level.
This is where we start bridging the gap between audio and visual.
Okay.
What sets freebeat.ai apart is its ability to create not just music, but entire music videos.
Whoa.
Think custom-generated visuals, dancers' backgrounds, all synced to the AI-generated soundtrack.
Hold on, AI-generated music videos?
Yes.
That's next level stuff. Tell me more.
It's like having a virtual film crew at your disposal.
Okay.
You input your desired style, mood, and maybe some keywords, and freebeat.ai generates a video concept that matches your vision.
Wow.
You can then customize the visual elements, choosing different dance styles, camera angles, and even characters.
Wow.
It's incredibly versatile.
Okay, my mind is officially blown.
Yeah.
So we have Suno AI, which focuses on the audio side of music creation, making it incredibly easy to compose and produce high-quality songs.
Yeah.
And then we have freebeat.ai,
Right.
which takes that concept a step further by adding a visual layer,
Yes.
creating like a complete multimedia experience.
And both are pushing the boundaries of what's possible in terms of accessibility and creativity.
Yeah.
It's really an exciting time to be following this space.
It is. It's like we're witnessing the birth of a whole new era of music creation.
I think so.
But before we get too far ahead of ourselves,
Okay.
let's break down what makes these platforms tick. In the next part, we're going to take a deeper dive into the technical innovations
Okay.
behind Suno AI and freebeat.ai.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We just scratched the surface of these mind-blowing AI music platforms, Suno AI and freebeat.ai.
Yeah.
Now let's kind of peel back the layers and see what makes these tools tick.
Yeah, I'm ready to get into the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
We keep mentioning these generative AI algorithms,
Right.
but what are they really?
Yeah.
And how do they learn to create music?
Well, it all starts with data, a massive amount of data.
Right.
These algorithms are trained on enormous data sets of music. We're talking millions of songs
Wow.
across every genre imaginable.
So they're basically analyzing all this music, finding patterns and structures.
Precisely, they dissect everything,
Yeah.
melodies, harmonies, rhythms, instrumentations,
Wow.
and learn how these elements work together to create different musical styles.
So it's like teaching a computer to speak a new language, but the language is music?
Exactly.
That music is so subjective.
Right.
How can an algorithm capture something as nuanced as human emotion in a song?
That's the fascinating part. While AI might not feel emotions the way humans do,
Right.
it can learn to recognize and replicate the musical pattern that evoke those emotions in listeners.
Okay.
For example, it can analyze thousands of sad songs
Okay.
and identify common elements like minor chords, slow tempos, or specific vocal techniques that convey sadness.
So it's not just about copying existing music. It's
Right.
about understanding the underlying principles
Yes.
of how music works
Exactly.
and using that knowledge to create something new.
And the more data these algorithms are fed, the better they become at capturing those nuances of
Right,
different
yeah.
styles and genres.
Okay, so let's say I want to create a song using Suno AI.
Yeah,
What happens after I select my genre and starting melody?
right.
How does the AI actually take it from there?
Think of it like giving the AI a set of building blocks and a blueprint.
Okay.
The genre you choose defines the style guidelines, and the starting melody acts as like a seed or a theme.
Right.
From there, the algorithm begins constructing the song piece by piece.
Wow.
It might generate accompanying harmonies, suggest chord progressions, or even add a rhythmic groove.
And I can tweak all of those elements along the way.
Absolutely, you're not just a passive observer.
Okay.
Suno gives you a lot of control over the creative process.
Nice.
You can adjust the tempo, swap out instruments, experiment with different vocal styles.
That's cool.
It's really a collaborative process between you and the AI.
So it's not like the AI just spits out a finished track and you're stuck with it.
Not at all.
Oh.
You can iterate, experiment, and refine until you achieve the exact sound you're looking for.
Now, we touched on the vocal capabilities earlier.
Right.
And this is where things get really wild for me. I mean, AI generating singing voices, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It's true. This is where we start getting into the realm of text-to-speech synthesis.
Yeah.
And vocal modeling, which are fascinating subfields of AI. Essentially, these models are trained on massive data sets of vocal recordings, learning to replicate not just the words, but also the nuances of human singing, the tone, the vibrato, the emotional inflections.
So it's more than just robotically stringing words together.
Yeah.
It's actually capturing the expressiveness of a human voice.
That's the goal. And it's pretty remarkable how far this technology has come.
Yeah.
Suno's vocal synthesis in particular is impressive.
Yeah.
It can generate vocals that sound incredibly realistic.
Okay.
Especially for certain genres like pop or electronic music where vocal effects are commonly used.
That must be opening up a whole new world of possibilities for singers and songwriters.
Absolutely. Imagine being able to experiment with different vocal styles without needing to hire a section vocalist or being able to quickly demo out song ideas.
Right.
With surprisingly realistic vocals. It's a game changer for sure.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about freebeat.ai.
All right.
We know it creates music videos, which is already amazing. But what's happening under the hood? How does it actually generate those visuals?
It's a combination of several AI techniques working in harmony.
Okay.
You have computer vision, which allows the AI to see and analyze images. Then you have motion capture, which is used to track and understand human movement.
Okay.
And finally, there's 3D animation, which allows the AI to create and manipulate virtual characters.
So it's like this whole virtual film studio inside the computer.
Exactly. And the way it works is pretty ingenious when you input your musical track into freebeat.ai.
Okay.
The AI first analyzes the music, identifying key elements like the rhythm, the tempo, and the overall mood.
So it's trying to grasp the emotional essence of the music before it even starts creating visuals.
That's right. It's like the AI is trying to understand the story the music is trying to tell.
Right.
And then based on that understanding, it starts generating visual concepts that match the music's vibe.
That's so cool.
It is.
Can you give me an example of how that might work in practice?
Sure. Let's say you feed freebeat.ai, a high-energy, upbeat electronic track.
Okay.
It might suggest a video concept featuring dancers moving in sync with the beat, colorful, dynamic visuals, and quick cuts to match the fast tempo.
Okay.
On the other hand, if you input a mellow acoustic ballad, it might generate a video with slower, more contemplative visuals.
Interesting.
Maybe featuring a lone musician playing guitar in a natural setting.
It's like the AI is becoming a director.
Yeah.
Choosing the right shots and editing style.
Exactly.
To evoke those desired emotions.
That's a great analogy. And just like with Suno's music composition, you have a lot of control over the final product.
Nice.
You can choose from different dance styles, camera angles, visual effects, and even different characters and avatars.
Wow.
To populate your video.
So it's not just about accepting whatever the AI comes up with.
Right.
It's about shaping and refining the AI's output to match your own creative vision.
Exactly. And that's what makes these tools so powerful.
Right.
They're not replacing human creativity. They're augmenting it.
Yeah.
Giving us new ways to express ourselves and explore new artistic possibilities.
It's like having this whole team of virtual collaborators at your fingertips.
Yeah.
A composer, a producer, a director, a choreographer all rolled into one.
And the technology is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
What we're seeing today is just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
As AI models become more sophisticated and access to computing power increases, we can only imagine what the future holds.
I'm already blown away by what these tools can do, so I can't even imagine what's next.
I know.
But speaking of the bigger picture, how are these AI music tools impacting the music industry as a whole?
Yeah.
Is it all sunshine and rainbows?
Right.
Or are there valid concerns that we need to address?
That's a great question. And the answer is, as with most things nuanced.
Right.
There are both exciting possibilities and legitimate concerns that we need to carefully consider.
Yeah.
And that's precisely what we'll be diving into in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we've been geeking out over like all the technical wizardry
Yeah.
behind Suno AI and freebeat.ai, but now I'm kind of curious about the bigger picture.
Right.
How is all this shaking up the music industry as a whole?
Yeah.
Is it a revolution or are we just tweaking the old ways?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And honestly, it's probably a bit of both.
Okay.
We're seeing established players adapt and incorporate these tools
Yeah.
while this whole new generation of creators is emerging,
Right.
empowered by this new tech.
So is this like the Wild West of music production right now?
In some ways, yes.
Okay.
There's a sense of boundless possibility, but also some understandable anxieties about what it all means for the future of music and the livelihood of those who make it.
So what are some of the specific concerns that people are raising?
Job displacement is a big one.
Yeah.
If AI can compose, produce, and even perform music,
Right.
will human musicians and producers become obsolete?
That's a valid fear.
It is.
But I can also see the potential for like incredible collaborations between humans and AI.
For sure.
Like instead of replacing artists,
Right.
maybe these tools can like amplify their abilities, take their creativity to new heights.
I think you're onto something there. Imagine a songwriter using Suno to quickly flesh out a melody,
Yeah.
or a producer using freebeat.ai to visualize a song's mood
Right.
and create a stunning music video.
Yeah.
These tools could become extensions of an artist's creative process,
Right.
helping them overcome limitations and realize their visions more fully.
That's a much more optimistic view.
It is.
It's like instead of fearing AI as a competitor,
Right.
we embrace it as a collaborator, a partner in the creative process.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe these collaborations will lead to entirely new genres and styles of music that we haven't even imagined yet.
Wow.
AI might help us break free from existing conventions
Yeah.
and discover unexplored sonic territories.
That's what I find so exciting about all this.
Yeah.
But let's talk about like the business side of things.
All right.
How are these tools changing the economics of the music industry?
Well, for starters, AI is dramatically lowering the barriers to entry.
Okay.
For aspiring musicians and producers, you no longer need a fancy studio or years of training to create professional quality music.
So it's kind of leveling the playing field,
It is.
giving independent artists a shot at competing with major labels and established stars.
Absolutely. And it's also shaking up the way music is marketed and distributed.
Okay.
Think about personalized recommendations powered by AI.
Yeah.
Suggesting music based on your unique tastes and listening habits.
Right.
Or imagine interactive concerts and virtual reality experiences that blur the lines between performer and audience.
We're not just talking about changing how music is made, but how it's experienced.
Right.
That's a fundamental shift.
It is. And let's not forget the impact on music education.
Right.
AI-powered tools could make learning music more accessible and engaging for people of all ages and skill levels.
It's like giving everyone the keys to the musical kingdom.
Exactly, and that's a powerful thing. But with all this potential comes responsibility.
Yeah.
We need to have open conversations about the ethical implications of AI in music,
Right.
especially when it comes to issues like copyright ownership
Yeah.
and the potential for bias in algorithms.
Those are really important points to raise.
They are.
So as we kind of wrap up our deep dive,
Okay.
what are like the key takeaways you want our listeners to ponder?
First, don't be afraid of the change to change. AI is here to stay,
Yeah.
and it's going to transform the music landscape in ways we can't fully predict.
Right.
But instead of resisting, let's explore the possibilities with curiosity and an open mind.
It's like we're standing on the edge of a whole new era of musical expression.
I think so.
And second, remember that AI is a tool.
Yes, it is.
It can be used to amplify human creativity, connect artists with audiences in new ways,
Right.
and democratize access to music creation and education.
It's up to us to shape how this technology is used and ensure that it benefits the entire music ecosystem.
That's a great reminder. So as we leave our listeners to contemplate the future of music,
Yeah.
what's your final thought for them?
Embrace the unknown experiment with these new tools.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to break the rules and create something truly unique. The future of music is in our hands,
Right.
and it's going to be an incredible journey.
Beautifully said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI music generation.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been an enlightening and thought-provoking conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what the future holds for this fascinating field. Until next time,
Yes.
keep listening, keep exploring, and keep creating